Hello everyone, I'm David from the War Gaming Parrot channel, and I'm doing a series of videos for Northern Parrots on various training tips and techniques. Today's video is going to be all about how to train your bird to do recall. I'm going to assume you've seen my other videos from Northern Parrots or on my channel regarding bonding and step-up training, because these are going to be essential before you start doing recall with your parrot. And something else that's also really important to remember before we begin is make sure that you're always reinforcing and always treating whenever you're doing new behaviour. It's consent based, whatever you're trying to get your parrot to do, and you want to make it as motivating and fun for them as possible. So when you're teaching your parrot to recall and station later on, you want your parrot to be motivated. So my first tip is make sure you're using the most motivating treat. You can achieve this by doing a treat hierarchy, which is basically just lining up your parrot's favourite treats and getting them to find out what their favourite is. Because if the behaviour is new to them, or they may have had some difficult pasts or situations, you're going to want them to be motivated and happy to do the training. So make sure you pick the most motivating treat for them. Now your bird's step up trained and they're happy going in your hand, so the next thing you want to be working on is doing your recall training with small increments. That means you're basically getting your bird to just hop onto your hand. So you'll hold your hand right in front of the chair or play stand, top of the cage, whatever's most comfortable for your bird, and you'll get them to hop onto it and then potentially hop back depending on how motivated they are. And this is how you'll start teaching them how to recall, because they'll start associating hopping onto your hand with getting a lovely treat. Okay. Olive come. Good girl. So the next thing you want to do, now you've got your parrot hopping onto your hand rather than just stepping up, is start increasing the distance gradually. So you'll be doing this in small increments, so try and do, say for example, a little bit further each training session. You can push your parrot a little bit depending on how motivated they are and how receptive they are to training. Some will be a lot keener to fly than others, because Olive just flew onto my shoulder a moment ago while I was trying to film. So it's also very important to go at their own pace as well. Pickles come? Good girl. Another tip that often gets overlooked by some trainers, and it's one of those fundamentals apart from obviously always reinforcing, is make sure you pair the behaviour with a verbal cue. So your parrot knows that when you say for example, Olive come, she knows she needs to come over to you, and the same with stationing. So make sure that everything's paired with a verbal cue so they know what they're doing and when they're doing it. Because if you don't, and you're just sort of presenting your arm, they may understand what you want, but it's going to be a lot more reliable if they have something to sort of like focus on. Scampy come. Good boy. Scampy come. Good boy. So the last tip I want to cover involves stationing, which basically means once your parrot's going to you reliably, you've done all your increments and they're happily flying to you, it means getting them to fly back. And this again needs to be paired with a verbal cue, and you can do this in short increments. So for example, you take yourself back to your chair or cage, whatever, and you get them to try and hop back for a treat. You can even lure them onto that chair or cage just to get them to hop back, and then you do it in small ways, just reversing the process, and it works quite well, and they'll pick it up pretty quickly because they've already learned how to come to you and do recall. Scampy come. Station. Good boy. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found these tips useful in training your parrot how to recall. If you have any other sort of comments or suggestions, please feel free to drop them down below. But in the meantime, take care and have a really good day.